Mark Watts, Derek Dolgner, elitefts.com. Today we're going to go over some progressions for single leg squats. So this is really for beginners and really level 1 type exercise. So we're going to go over 3 basic ones here. First one's going to be an assisted pistol squat using either blast straps, ropes, any kind of apparatus you have to hold on. You can actually do this as a combo movement and have the athlete perform a row. Key thing is make sure those shoulder blades, back pockets, good scapular retraction, and make sure again the other leg will counterbalance to allow that athlete to sit back, keeping that weight on the heel. All right. The second one's going to be just a step up, and we end up doing with our step up. This is something I learned a while ago. Is there's a couple things we want to be able to do. Number one, when we set up initially, we want the bottom toe aligned with the top heel, if that makes sense. What happens is, if I get that front leg forward too much, we end up having a lot of bend in that knee. And now we can keep a more vertical shin angle, keep that knee aligned with the toe a little better. So before they perform the exercise, if they have to have their hands out for balance, great. Hands on the hips. If they have their hands up top, obviously, that makes the exercise a little more difficult. But really, before he performs a movement, he's going to go ahead and make sure he dorsi-flexes that foot. I'm gonna push through the top heel, stand up. On the way down, accentuate the negative by 3 to 5 seconds, whatever you prefer. But again, make sure you're driving through that top heel, coming straight up, squeezing the glute at the top. You can do this on the side of a bench. You can end up having 2 athletes working at the same time. Last one, going to be a reverse lunge. I like the reverse lunge because the athlete has the weight on the front leg. So when they step back, they have a good shin angle and they can drive through the heel straight up. A lot of times with a forward lunge, they have to push backwards. And again, this way, they can push straight up, keeping that weight on the front heel. Stepping back, make sure they step back as far as they can. Keep those shoulders back, keep a good, their torso should be about perpendicular to the ground. So try those 3 out. Again, those are 3 really good ones if you have some younger athletes that you're trying to progress to some more complicated or more intense workouts. We're going to do part 2 of our single leg squat series, and this is probably a next level up. So this might be for more advanced athletes or more athletes that are ready for your training at a little higher level. So 3 exercises we're going to go over right now. The first is going to be a single leg box squat, one of my favorites. And again, the athlete is just going to go ahead and perform a single leg box squat. Again, come all the way down, sit on the box, and push through the heel as they come up. And when they come up, they can bring their arms back down. The weights don't have to be very heavy. They're just as a counterbalance for the most part. All right, so the next is going to be what we call, some people term this as a skater squat. So really now it's going to be kind of like a pistol, only we're going to take that back leg off the back end. Now with this exercise, you're going to have a little more knee bend. You're going to have a little more pressure on that quad. But again, try to get that athlete to push off the front heel. And again, you can use weights as a counterbalance as well. The last one's going to be just a basic pistol squat. Now with the pistol squat, again, it's a little more advanced. Some athletes are going to be more able to do these if they're elevated. That way they can just hang their leg off the side. So have their feet on the side of a box, they might be able to do it a little bit better. Same thing, you can use weight as a counterbalance. And again, make sure you're pushing through the heel and then standing up, posture at all times. Big compensation pattern within these single leg movements is that knee coming too far forward, which you're going to have a little bit. Just make sure you're aware of it. And then also the posture. Again, just with the shoulder blades, that T-spine mobility, making sure, again, the athlete is aware of posture at all times. So those are 3 more single leg exercises you can do with minimal equipment. So try those out for in a team setting.